Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
What's up, everyone? Freddie the Pizza Man here, host of the Pizza Man podcast. Now joining forces with ChristopherMedia.net. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, the Pizza Man podcast. And, of course, find all the podcasts on ChristopherMedia.net. We talk Detroit sports. I bring on guests, passions, opinions, all for Detroit sports and more. We even talk pizza. So thanks for tuning in and spread the word.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
Number 105, I'm Chris.
I'm Rich. I'm finally the fucking Iceman.
I finally got it figured out, goddammit.
Just changed devices.
Yeah, so, yeah, sports and real news cross paths this week. Good times. I mean, is there any great way to bring this up? The whole incident with the Madden tournament down in Jacksonville?
Not really, just to bring it up. I mean, it's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
just another one of those things.
You know, it is the perfect opportunity for all the jackasses to show their fucking ass. And we don't know all the facts, have no idea exactly what this shooting's about. People are refusing to look at facts. You know, the fact that it's been reported that it was a tournament in a pizza place that was thrown together by the pizza place, that's incorrect. These guys travel together, and it's like a touring circuit. They play against each other all the time. All right. And all the pearl clutching mommies and you know, I'm gonna go outside and everything that's manly has to hurt and be painful. Daddies want to say that this is because of video games, and it's like, yeah. So what's your excuse when any other shooting happens? Is that the new thing? It's video games. Can't it just be a sick fuck? Is it that hard for us to say that?
You know what, though? And I won't even go that it's a sick fuck. The reason I feel this has been talked about on this podcast ad nauseum. It is a failure in parenting these days. I'm sick of everybody just letting it slide, and it's mental illness, and it's video games, and it's Marilyn Manson. I'm sick of all that shit. This shit didn't happen when I was a kid. Didn't happen when they were generations before us. It's happening now, okay? I mean, we joke about it, and we tease them, and we say it's millennial, and blah, blah, blah. But it is, goddammit. That's it. I've had enough.
I'm kind of with you on this one, Ice. There's someone building these monsters. We have to start maybe taking a look at that.
You know, one of my friends on Facebook said it the best. Everybody says it's mental illness, it's this, it's that. He was competent enough to buy two guns.
Yeah.
He was competent enough to make a plan to do this.
See, now, but there's many facets to this conversation, because he was mentally ill. I believe I did see something today that said that he has actually sought treatment for mental illness in the past. And the other part of it is, like, the system, obviously, we could argue the system obviously in Florida is broken. It's obviously super easy to get a gun in Florida.
But see, he didn't buy them in Florida. He bought them in Baltimore, where he's from.
Well, then, there we go.
See, that's what I'm saying. The facts don't matter to the people who, the minute this happened, their pussies got wet and their dicks got hard because now they can go on the internet and yell at each other.
That's what
They can point fingers at people because that's what makes them feel good.
I'm sure this has been another toxic masculinity conversation.
You got it. It's toxic masculinity. It's video games. This is what happens with competitive behavior in sports. Any pet issue that someone hates, they have an excuse to point a finger at. Somehow, regardless of the facts. In fact, they refuse to look at the facts. They don't want to hear the facts.
Then you know what, Rich? Let it continue. I'm done trying to explain it to them. Then fine, it's toxic masculinity. It's competitive nature. Let it continue. Let everybody shoot up every place. If you're not gonna, if those folks are not gonna finally say, you know what, it's a failure in parenting, then fuck them. Let their kids die. I've had enough. You can email me, you can call me what you want. I can't take it anymore.
Well, here's the thing. The people, and I agree with you on this because parents just don't want to hear it.
They don't hear that might be their fault. There might be some accountability.
The battle cry of a bad parent is, I did my best. And that's usually after their kid is fucked up majorly.
The number one thing, especially here in America, that nobody wants to do, and they will kill their fucking mother before they do it, is say, you know what, I'm wrong. I don't care who it is. Anybody from your fucking teacher to your plumber to your boss, your kid's teacher, your kid, your parent, nobody.
Your fellow podcast hosts.
Nobody wants to say, you know what, I was wrong. And to get this situation righted, the ship back to right, people are going to have to start saying, fuck, we did this the wrong way. Our kids are growing up way wrong.
Well, you know,
nobody's going to do that.
I brought this up on Unregimented. I guess it applies to the story, so I'll bring it up here. You know, the whole self-esteem movement, every feeling you have is valid. Self-esteem is the most important thing in a child's life. You know, all that shit started roughly, 35, 40 years ago. And the people at the forefront of that, pushing that, have now overwhelmingly said, we were wrong. Period. That's no. You focus too much on self-esteem. You validate every single thought, everything a child says, and you never correct them. And you end up with the world we're in right now. The world where it doesn't matter what you could walk someone over to a glass of water, stick their finger in it and go, that's water. And they will argue with you that it's not because they don't like you, or they don't like your politics, or they don't like the way you part your hair. What the fuck ever. It's not about what is an observable fact. It's about, I don't like you, I'm not going to let you win. And that goes back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can't say, hey, I was wrong, I fucked up, sorry.
Yeah, you take those two and put them together, and you got this way we're living. I mean, when I was growing up, I was taught, if an adult touches you in the wrong place, you fucking report it. I don't care if it's your coach. I don't care who it is. But nowadays, it's okay if your coach touches you there or bangs you in the shower. It doesn't matter. You lay down and the doctor touches and fingers, and it's all going to make you all better. You don't tell anybody. Bullshit. And it's okay that you're always the winner. Nobody ever loses today. But when they get out in the world and they find out, no, I'm about to lose, they snap.
Well, have you ever watched like Madden Nation? It used to be on ESPN. I don't know if it even airs on ESPN. Every year when Madden comes out, they would pick like 10 or whatever of the best Madden players from the previous game season. And they would have them tour and go, to different stadiums and play, playoff games. And the last two would play at Times Square on like the big screen and blah, blah, blah. And there was like, big money up for grabs. Well, I watched that for a few seasons. I can tell you right now, like, the way those guys go at each other, I'm surprised the shit doesn't happen more often. Not necessarily a shooting, but flat out fist fights. Because those guys are in each other's faces screaming oh, that's right, that's what's up, and all that shit. And I'm going to tell you something right now. As a normal human being, you get in my face and scream like that, I'm going to give you one time to get out of my face. And then I'm going to get you out of my face.
Right, but see, back in the day, Rich, when we played cards, we did the same shit. Not necessarily nose to nose. We talked mad shit.
But there's a difference between talking shit and being an asshole.
No, because we used to be just dicks. And here's the thing, dude. The way you and
That's
I
a fine
grew up,
line, Rich. That's a mighty fine line.
I'm just saying, when you and I grew up, the biggest thing was we had to find out the bigger diss. Your mama's so fat jokes. You're so skinny joke. Your dick's so small joke. And we had to be ready because we knew when we throw down, you had something. You went out and thought of it or researched it or you had something. And I had to have a comeback. But now you do that shit and you're a bully. Now you do that shit,
it's true.
And you're gonna offend someone's fragile sense of fuckability, and they're gonna go and get a gun and come back and settle the score.
Soft.
But this goes back to when Columbine happened. You know, when Columbine happened, there was all this. Oh my God, how could this happen? These kids from this well-off families and well-to-do school and AKA, this ain't the hood, so how could this happen? And I'm like...
Eminem, Middle America, that's where it is. Now it's a tragedy.
And my attitude was like, well, that's what you get. That's what you get, period. You can't... You go to school, and they say, how do I explain this? I've seen this with my friends' kids, okay, who happen to be, a lot of them happen to be your friend as well, Ice, their kids. And they're still bullying in school. It's just from a different it's from a different angle. Now it's, whereas before it was like, oh, look at that fag over there, look at this pussy over here, or, what, you can't do fucking 15 pull-ups, what do you bitch made motherfucker, etc., etc. Now it's in the opposite fashion. Now the nerds are running the fucking schools. And so they're picking on people who would have been the bullies before. So nothing's really changed, they just flipped the script.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I've thought as as someone who was bullied all the time, I would love the rise of the nerds. No, you're doing the same shit. You're doing the same tactics.
Exactly. I mean, literally watching that Madden Nation, these guys are video game geeks. I mean, they geek the fuck out on Madden to the point where they make their own playbooks, they make their own plays, etc., etc. I've played one of the guys that's ranked.
That's pretty admirable.
Online one time, and he gave me the option to quit because it was like 54-0 at halftime, and I said, "Thank God," because I didn't want to get it. Did not finish disconnect, because then that puts you in a pool of people to play with that are a bunch of assholes who they can't handle an ass whooping. But there's if you're getting slaughtered though, hey, you can quit and take the loss, and then yeah, cool, because I'm not coming back. There's no way I'm coming back on you. Dude hardly ever saw a fourth down. Even if he did, he went for it and got it every time. Every time. I could not stop him. So it was just... That's the type of guys these are. Now, those aren't like... Unless they're a prodigy at that game, just for some reason, everything clicks when they start playing it. Those are fucking huge Madden nerds who spend thousands upon thousands of hours playing Madden. Those aren't fucking... Billy Badass, rumble tumble motherfuckers, but yet they get up here and they get in these competitions and they act like it. What do you think's going to happen? Because they're too fucking afraid to take a fucking punch. What's the first thing a coward does when he's afraid of getting his ass whipped? Pick up a weapon. And it's also kind of how I feel these days as well. It's what you get for having a bunch of kids who anytime there's a fight in school, everybody's suspended.
Yeah,
the world's got to come to an end. The parents have to meet with each other, and there has to be a peace powwow, and counselors get involved and all this horse
We're all smoking the peace pipe.
all this horse shit. Whereas we would get in fights in school, and unless a teacher fucking saw it, nothing happened. If you got your clock cleaned, you got your clock cleaned. Period.
Or this radical, this parents nowadays would explode. The kid who started it got in trouble, and the other kid didn't.
Exactly. It was always said to me in school, don't throw the first punch because then you are the one who will get in trouble.
Yep.
Now,
Don't start the fight, but you better fucking finish it.
now it doesn't matter. Now everybody's in trouble. So you got a bunch of kids who've never even been in a fucking fist fight, but they want to be hard and they can't fight worth a lick. Left jab couldn't break wind. All right, and I mean, like, what do you expect is going to happen? What do you expect is going to fucking happen? And on top of it, we don't even really know what the fuck is going on with this guy. Being treated for mental illness, everything is mental illness these days. Your girlfriend leaves you, you get depressed, you're mentally ill. No,
Yeah,
it's a natural fucking reaction to being heartbroken is a natural reaction to being cheated on and dumped. It's not mental illness. It's human nature.
His mom said that he was dealing with a bunch of depression and shit lately, and it's like, seriously? So you get a gun and kill every motherfucking buddy? That's their fallback fucking answer. And it's happened way too much in this past, I would say, decade, for people not to understand it's not video games. It's not toxic masculinity. It's not it's a failure in fucking parenting.
Well, this is a symptom of participation trophies.
They don't know how to fail.
Yeah. Not knowing how to lose, not knowing how to fail, not knowing, like, it's what's the old quote? I know I'm paraphrasing it, but it isn't losing that defined you, it's how you handle it. And we have a whole generation that does not know how to handle failure.
Yeah, it's not what happens to you that defines you, it's your reaction that defines who you are.
I know so many people who are 10 to 15 years younger, who their attitude is the minute they try something, if they're not good or great at it, they're done with it. Like, be it a video game, playing a musical instrument, literally anything. If they're not great at it right off the bat, then I'm done with it. I'm not going to put time into this.
Because it's a fear of failure.
Exactly. And this isn't just limited to the U.S. Yeah, the amount of guns, yeah, that's a U.S. issue. But you go, Jesus fucking Christ, you can look up reports about the stabbings and acid attacks over in Europe, to the point where London has made laws you can't carry a pocket knife. They treat it like it's a fucking gun over there now. So once again, is it really a gun issue or is it a people issue? Because people are just fucking shitty. Can't we just fucking accept that? There's a lot of shitty people in this fucking world. All there is to it. And we're not helping with the way you're absolutely right, the way we raise kids. Because, man, we've said it a million times on this show. All right? Yeah. That's wonderful. You grew up with your self-esteem, being told your self-esteem is the most important thing, and all your thoughts and feelings were validated by mommy and daddy and the teachers who were paid to just fucking co-sign on that shit. But when you get out in the real world, that's not how it works.
Here's the thing. Because I missed last show because of the fucking laptop issue, what I was trying to say last show was that it's very hard to find a really good pitcher nowadays. But it's really hard to find a superstar athlete, period, in any of our sports. Because, like you said, if they're not good at it right away, they walk away. In the NFL, NBA, MLB, back in the day, we could say sit here all day and name fucking all-stars, people that were just, you watched them and you knew they were Hall of Famers. You were like, good God Almighty, look at the talent. And that's when MJ was going. Even with Michael Jordan, there were so many superstars in that league. Now, today, in every facet, every place from NASCAR to Major League Baseball, there's very few quote-unquote superstars.
See, superstar has nothing to do with ability. I think there's very few all-around, well-rounded players. And there's hardly anyone who plays defense in the NBA. That's first thing stands out in my mind right there. I mean, it's not, it's an old, tired fucking bit, but it's the truth. What the fuck happened to fundamentals?
What's in WNBA?
Yeah.
Exactly, and look at their ratings. I mean, that's I think that's part of, if you're not great at something, the minute you try it, well, then I'm done. Well, I'm not great at defending it. Or worse, I get crossed over and I break my ankles and I look like a fool. And now everyone's picking on me on the basketball court, so I don't even bother to defend them.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Throughout sports entirely, in this day and age, when I say superstar, Rich, I'm talking about because when in Michael Jordan's heyday.
Yeah, okay, I get it. You want to push the superstar word. You're not going to come up off it. I just disagreed with you. Let's move on. I don't need a fucking 4-minute reason why you're not going to give up on it. I know you're not going to give up on it.
I said no. I kind of get what you're saying. You're talking about like that elite level of player,
right? The elite level, the player that you're like, you want to talk about so and so. Like you want to talk about LeBron James and the LA Lakers, but LeBron James is the only person you could talk about in the LA Lakers.
Well, but that's just, it's a shorter conversation.
Exactly.
It's very shallow in sports. I mean, in the NBA, you got like probably LeBron James and Kevin Durant. In baseball, you probably got what? You got Altuve, you got Trout. In hockey, I defer to Rich and
Crosby and Ovechkin.
But once again, I go back to, there's not a whole lot of overall well-rounded players. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about hockey. It's either you're an offensive force, you're great on defense, or you're like what's left of the quote-unquote grinders. Because the enforcer's pretty much been phased out of hockey. I mean, there's a few guys in there who are there just to make sure you don't fuck with the talent. But for the most part, roster spots are at a premium with the salary cap and the way the game's played today. NHL's pretty much decided, unwritten rule, we're not going to carry one guy who's going to get maybe 15 points, 200 penalty minutes, when we could put 15. That's a lot. 5 points in the season, 200 penalty minutes. We could put a guy there that's going to get 15, 20 points, and be in the positive on his plus minus. Not a detriment to the team. Not taking penalties. Now you have we're at the tail end of it, but you get the age of the pest. Whereas Matthew Barnaby was a shit talker who never backed down from anybody. Case in point, I think the man in his career fought Zdeno Chara like 4 times, all 5'11" of them against 6'9". All right, yeah, the dude would talk shit, but he wouldn't back down from anybody. Nowadays, you got the shit talkers who, okay, I'm gonna piss you off till you do something in the ref season, and boom, I just drew a penalty. Okay, my team's on the power play now. I go sit on the bench and let the talent go out here and work. There's no Rocket Richards. There's no Bobby Orrs. There's no Gordie Howes, well-rounded players who can do it all. I don't need anyone to watch my back. I watch my back. I don't need someone to go in the corner and rough it up and get a pass to the fucking slot. I'll go in the corner and I'll rough everybody up and I'll carry the puck into the fucking slot. So it's just
because these guys didn't have shitty parents. Well, that's what we're getting at.
The culture is completely different.
Yes.
All right. I mean, you want to have certain things in your society. There's going to be fallout from certain things. That's all there is to it. All right, and what irks me is not that fact, because That's just how shit works. You do something happens as a result of it. Mm-hmm. You do A, B follows. You can't get mad at that. But what I can get mad at is people who refuse to fucking deal with the fact that B is a result of them doing A. And they refuse to alter what they're doing because they refuse to see the outcome is shitty. You know, I got a little kid who fucking runs around talking to adults any type of fucking way and gets his way all the time. Well, now he's fucking 18, he's in the real world, and that shit don't fucking fly. So what happens? I mean,
it's just, it's all going to be another excuse to come for football, isn't it?
That's already started.
Yep.
And I mean, here's the thing. It used to be when shit like this would happen, it was the far right. You know, the video games are evil because Jesus said so bunch. And it used to be the far left because, you know, those are people that there should never be any competition everybody should just be like, you know, paid just to, you know, hey, your parents fucked, so here, we're going to provide you cradle to grave fucking everything for free, and you can just sit around and contemplate your asshole for 50, 60 years.
You know, in the well-rounded players and everything, Rich, they weren't good out the gate. They did work on it. They didn't just go, oh, I suck, I got to go. They practice hard. You know, that's what I was trying to say. I've said this many times, that hearing you lost as a kid didn't make you a loser. It built character. It was like, fuck, today wasn't good enough. My best wasn't good enough. I'm going to go practice. I'll be back, bitch. And today's kids don't have that. Everybody wants to be LeBron James. They want to told they're special, you're amazing, you're going to get handed shit all your life. And when they get told that, they're like, yeah. Then they go out in the real world and they're not even close to LeBron James, and they don't get handed a fucking thing except a slap in the face and say, yeah, go on down the road. I got other shit to do. Then they get all butt hurt and they're like, oh shit, I got to go find something. And what am I going to do? I can't lose. I'm not a loser. I'm a loser. And then you got your mom on the fucking telly talking about, well, he's been depressed. Well, no shit. He just found out for the first time as an adult that he's a fucking loser.
Well,
George Carlin say kids are like everybody else. Few winners, whole lot of losers.
I mean, the sad part is that we let off a sports show talking about this, and here's the reason why. You nailed it, Chris. The people that are connecting this, a video game competition, because of the game they were playing, to actual people playing football out on the field. And the bridge that they build between the two is violence, toxic masculinity, all these word salad buzzwords that were come up with by people who are fucking in the social sciences, who've never actually went out in the real world because they've just been in fucking college all their life. And when they got done getting their degrees, they went and became professors. But yet they know all about the real world.
And you get rid of football, it's going to turn something else. Because I heard something the other day that said the reason we watch sports is because we don't hunt anymore.
You know what, dude? It's like I said just right here a few minutes ago. Cool. Get rid of football. Get rid of toxic masculinity. Get rid of all sports. Get rid of them all. Until they're ready to say, oh shit, I'm wrong. We fucked up. We failed as parents. This shit is going to continue, and it's going to get worse. I'm going to sit back with my popcorn because I don't have any fucking kids. I'm going to sit back with popcorn and go, would you look at that? I don't know what else to tell you. If they want to keep crying about toxic masculinity in football, cool. Do away with it all. And when it gets worse, okay, fingers are going to have to be pointed somewhere.
Well, I mean, I have family members who have already jumped on this is why I don't let my kid play video games. This is why my kid doesn't do this, doesn't do that. And I'm like, okay, great, wonderful. Perfectly fine. But how do you explain 40 plus years of kids playing video games and this type of shit is pretty much a millennial / Gen Z problem?
Dude, we played way worse, way more violent games when we were kids. We researched how to do the fatalities in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
because we wanted to see that shit.
There was no internet. You had to find
Right,
out
you would
somebody.
go over your buddy's house and write that shit down and go home and practice. And
Yeah, we
practice
were the
and
generation of Doom and Wolfenstein, the first-person
Seriously.
shooter generation.
when you just sit there and have shit explode that when you shot it. We didn't go shoot up our school. We couldn't pass level 10 and all of a sudden we just got butthurt and wanted to go kill somebody. No. We stayed up all night and then called in and missed school the next day. We're sick.
Well, it's ones like I said. It's a chance for people who, and this is sadly, this is anytime there's an incident like this, anytime there's an incident in sports that people have an axe to grind with, those people, this is like Christmas to them. It's just like coming. It's like being a 5-year-old kid coming down and seeing all, on Christmas morning, and seeing all them toys and packages under the Christmas tree to them. How you felt when you saw a gift for you at Christmas is how they feel every time something like this happens, because now they get to go out and hop on their fucking high horse and talk down to us, to the rest of us unwashed masses, because they know better. They know how to solve all these problems. Even though the problem is just, when we were kids, it was rock music. And near the end of my teenage and end of my childhood, which would be my teenage years, it kind of became rap music. Oh, well, kids listening to gangster rap, and that's why they're out here killing each other over starter jackets and shit. Okay, well, I know a lot of people that listen to that music, grew up on that music, didn't kill one person for a starter jacket. Maybe you're talking about a fucking messed up person. But once again, it goes back to how'd they get messed up? I didn't mess them up. Did you? Well, if that's no, then who are you going to look at? But you can't look at the parents, because being a parent is the toughest job. Was it Bill Burr who had the bit about, I'm tired of fucking mothers talking about it's the toughest job in the world? No, it's not. Being a rocket scientist, having to make sure that 7 people aboard a space shuttle you're putting in space doesn't explode and kill them all is a tougher job than being a mother. Sorry. Period. All right. Being an oil worker out in the middle of the ocean is a tougher job than being a mother. Being a coal miner.
Being a surgeon.
It's just, but that's the society we
live in, man. Being a defense attorney is hard.
That's the society we live in, man. You can't tell the truth. You cannot tell the truth, because the truth pisses people off and it hurts their feelings.
Because the truth is they're wrong, and that's not going to fly. Because I say they, because there's a lot of them, and there is no fucking way they are going to admit they're wrong. All of them? No fucking way.
That's why. So why do you think? Oh God. And I've been trying to avoid this, but there's just really no way. Like, all the super uber liberal people I know, especially younger people, can't stand sports. And it's because there's clear winners and losers. And that goes against their idea of, well, that's not fair. He tried really hard. Doesn't that count for something?
No. Welcome to life.
It wasn't that long ago. Well, Star Trek Next Generation's only been off the air for, 24 years, 23 years, something like that. You figure the nerds who worship that show, who grew up on that show, who are adults now, who have kids, would have taken one of the lessons that their surrogate father, Jean-Luc Picard, said famously in one of the episodes, which was, you can do everything right. You can practice perfectly and still lose. You have to get used to that. That is just a part of life. You can be the best player in the world, but if a team finds out your weakness and exploits it, you're going to be watching them hoist the cup. You're going to be watching them hoist the Lombardi Trophy.
The 2009 Patriots.
Exactly.
I finally had my first real encounter with that mindset. I really did. I was on Facebook and I saw a post, and the post was about a preacher holding a sign that says, "You deserved to be raped. You wanted it. Whatever." A lady came up.
Was this a Catholic priest talking to a 5-year-old?
It was just a guy that was posing as a priest holding a sign that said it.
Okay.
A woman came up and smacked him in the head with a bat. And the Twitter post below it said, "Well, he deserved it. He wasn't wearing a helmet. He wanted it." And the person that posted it totally agreed with it. And there were a couple of other feminists that jumped on the comments and was like, "Absolutely. Toxic masculinities, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, okay, folks, just a second. Rape is bad. Murder is worse. Forcing someone to have sex, I totally agree. Terrible, terrible, terrible thing to do. But trying to kill somebody for holding a fucking sign, okay, way worse. He wasn't holding a woman down. He didn't have any sex with a woman against her will. He was sitting there simply holding a sign. And the reply was half her life story as a childhood and what she had to endure. And that, yes, if she sees any male promoting the rape of women, she absolutely would hit him in the head with a fucking bat.
Well, okay. Well, guess what, honey? You're only going to do it once or twice before you go to fucking prison for attempted murder. Enjoy that.
That's the mindset we're in, and I could not fucking believe. I was like, "You've got to be kidding! 2 wrongs don't make a right." Okay,
Anymore.
just because you happen to
Didn't you get the memo?
Just because you happen to agree with one of the wrongs doesn't make it fucking right.
No, 2 wrongs don't make a right. They do make it left.
Apparently, man, I had to quit. I shut my phone off, actually. I was like, that, I can't even. How do you think that it's okay to take a baseball bat and hit somebody in the head for holding a sign?
It's the same mentality of it's okay to it's the tribal mentality. Okay? Like the shit with Urban Meyer going on. If you're an Ohio State fan, you minimize all the evidence that says that he knew what was going on with his assistant coach and his assistant coach's wife.
Nice job, Rich. Just sliding right in.
All right. And if you're not a OSU fan, then you're like, what the fuck? If this guy was teaching at Youngstown, he would be fired. This guy was teaching at Central Michigan, he'd be, or not teaching, if he was coaching at Central Michigan, he'd be gone. It's only because of Ohio State University's place in college football that makes the NCAA and that college a ton of money that he's even there still.
He's missing the non-conference part of the schedule. Shocking.
Yeah, I know. It's what was it? Johnny Manziel had to sit for a first quarter one time. That was his punishment. Sit for a quarter. By the way, not the fourth, because we might need you to come back. Because, sit for the first quarter.
The worst team they got to face is TCU, who could be a pile of shit by week 3. Yeah, it's nice punishment.
It's that tribal mentality, man. And it takes over. It has taken over everything. Everything. And if there's any toxicity in this fucking in American culture right now, it is the tribal mentality that is toxic, because it's got to the point where you can't even have a conversation, because the minute you say something that someone else doesn't like, they shut it down. They start calling you names. Oh, you're a libtard. You're a Hillary bot. Oh, you're a Nazi. You're a Trump sucker offer. Whatever the fuck. It's just it's ridiculous. And I mean, it's to the point. How many times have we talked politics involving sports? Whereas, look, I get it. I understand. I really do. I understand that the '68 Olympics, Muhammad Ali, politics in the last 50 years in this country,
hockey team,
in politics and sports in the last 50 years of this country have become intertwined. I understand that. But when you have people from completely opposite sides of the political spectrum refusing to watch a sport because the sport didn't do exactly what they wanted them to do when it comes to an issue, that's got to tell you something. Because the majority of the people aren't on the very end of the political seesaws. That's the fucking whack jobs. That's the people we used to walk by on the street who were walking, holding signs saying, "The end is nigh. Repent, sinners." John 3:16, whatever. They were crazies, all right? You ignored them. Now we give them voices, and we say, and we let them dictate the conversation. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. There are text messages from, brain fart. What is that fucking coach's name?
Urban Meyer?
No, his assistant.
Zach Smith.
Smith, thank you. And then you said, Zach, for some reason, I kept Zack Schneider. I'm like, no, not the guy that directed Watchmen.
Zach Morris?
Yeah, not him either. But no, there are text messages between Urban Meyer's wife and Zach Smith's wife talking about him beating her. And we're going to sit here and be like, well, I mean, it still doesn't prove that Urban Meyer knew anything about it. This shit has been going on for a decade. If his wife, first of all, if his wife is keeping something like that from him for a decade, nice marriage, Uncle Urban. Second of all, I've been married. I've been with a woman for a decade. The only thing a woman keeps from you like that is who she's fucking behind your back. That's it. And the same it goes in reverse as far as guys to their wives or girlfriends. You cannot tell me that the subject was never even brought up in a decade. And if you do, I'm looking at you going, that Kool-Aid must be laced with so much sugar you're in diabetic shock right now. Because that's the only way you could fucking say what you did and not slap yourself for being stupid.
It's full Ambien.
I mean, dude, is dead serious. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Just both of you answer me this question. Do you really think if this guy was a coach at Western that he'd still have a job?
You know, he would be a cloud of brown and gold vapor.
Absolutely not. Obviously, it's his stature in the college community. But here's the answer me this though, Rich. All right, if this was Nick Saban, would he be gone?
No.
Oh fuck no.
He's the king of Alabama.
The only thing that make Alabama riot quicker than fire and Nick Saban would be if they blew up the Budweiser plant.
With Nick Saban in it.
Hey, Roll Tide would fucking revolt, man.
This Bud wasn't for you.
You'd see a sea of mullets rise up.
Pit of misery, dilly.
Yell through their toothless maws.
White guys and black guys coming together.
Cats loving dogs.
Total chaos. But no, it's this story just. And here's all I can do is go, okay. I got it now. I got it now.
Hey, that's my line.
There's a certain set of rules for one group of people, and then everybody, all us commoners and unwashed masses, there's another set of rules that we better follow.
Hey, Uncle Urban is a superstar. He has superstar rules.
Exactly. But this isn't something that, forgive me, but trivial, like, does he get away with a slash whereas anybody else would be called? This is, his wife is in the medical field. She took an oath. His wife is in the medical field. She took an oath that if she was to hear of something like this situation exactly, she's to report it to the police.
Yeah, I think she's in trouble, actually, for this. I think those text messages are going to get her in a lot of trouble.
They should. And you know what sucks is that if you read the text messages, she's just trying to help. That's why I say I cannot believe that he did not that Urban Meyer and his wife did not talk about this, because at some point she had to go to him and go, "Oh my God, Urban, even if you don't know this, I got to tell you this."
Yeah, but here's the problem, though. It's what we said before when this broke. He's the son of Urban Meyer's godfather. So he was caught in one of the toughest pickles anybody could think of. And his godfather and Urban is quoted as being extremely close. So you're going to go to Zach Smith and say what? I know what you should say, but I mean, at that point, with the closeness of him and his godfather and whatnot, what are you going to say to Zach? I mean,
you're asking the wrong. dude, first of all, you're asking the wrong person. It was not domestic violence, but I was in a situation with a very close friend who did some very dumb shit that was illegal, and a mutual friend of ours was put in the middle of it. I'm not going to go into details, but that person, the mutual friend's career could have been fucking ruined because he still talked to me, and I still talked to this person. And I tried for a few days after I found out what the person who did the dirt did to call him and get his side. And after 3-4 days, the phone finally rang. It was him. He just said, "Oh, I guess you heard what happened." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude." And they're telling so-and-so that if he has anything to do with anybody who has anything to do with you, that's his fucking job. And he's been at this job for 25 years. This is not, he's the overnight clerk at fucking 7-Eleven. This is his career. And I'm not going to fuck my friendship up with him because you were a jackass. So I'll see you later. Yeah, I will make that fucking call.
So
I'm not gonna,
what Rich is saying in short is he would be the fucking officer in the room going, "You fucked up. You know you fucked up, right? You fucked up. You know that, right?"
If I was Urban Meyer, the first time I heard about an incident, I'd have sat him down and said, "What the fuck is going on?" And if he told me a story that I was like, okay, it reeks of bullshit.
Get your shit together.
He's bounced. He's gone later. If he tells me a story that rings true, if this is the first time it happened, it was a crazy fight, she smacked me, I smacked her back, whatever, well, you know, you both are in the fucking wrong at that point, but you better fucking do something about it. Because you can't go around beating the shit out your fucking wife. Period. End of story. And if it happens again, you're gone. And I'm not gonna lie to people about why you're gone. I'm gonna tell them exactly, why is this coach fired? Because we have policies in place at this school regarding how you conduct yourself in a domestic situation, and he broke them. Anything more than that, you're going to have to ask him. But I'm not going to make up some fucking excuse. I'm not going to say he's got a bad heart, he has to take 2 years off and then go fucking find a better coaching job somewhere. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I mean, and you know I'm hard. Like, I go real hard with the, hey, women want to act like men, they're going to get treated like men. You step to me and you fucking put your shit up and you fucking throw a right hook at me, you're about to get one right back at you. You can throw it and you can dish it out, you can take it. I don't give a shit. Because after all, gender's a social construct these days. There's no difference between the sexes, right? So why should I not hit her because she's a woman?
You treat her like an equal.
But beating your wife and repeatedly doing it, and the shit that he did on top of it, taking dick pics at the fucking White House, just being, he's just a fucking jackass in general. Yeah, you gots to go. Later.
Yeah, man had issues.
Phrase garbage person comes to mind.
I mean, I don't know if I was at the White House and I was like in a bathroom and they had like presidential towels, I might take a picture of my dick out next to it, but I'd be like, "Hey, look at this, man. Look, my dick was out next to a presidential towel." But you know when I would do that? When I'm like 15, 16, 17, when I'm an idiot kid, not a grown ass man.
Or hammered.
I've had a cell phone with a camera for over a decade, and I've drank. Lord knows I've drank in that decade, and I've never managed to take a picture of my dick or my balls. So,
I don't think I would take a dick pic, but I definitely would take a pic of me pissing in the fucking presidential bathroom.
Maybe like I'd beat off into that towel.
I must have had me about 15 Dr. Peppers. I believe the boys say pee. Exactly. But yeah, it's just it is set-asides. He's Urban Meyer. Chris, you nailed it. Sit for the 3 games that are fucking so easy. My little brother could coach that team to victory. And by coach that team to victory, I mean they just put my little brother on the sideline with a coloring book and tell him, "Don't worry, we got this." All right, because he don't know shit about football, and he could still fucking lead those men to the promised land in those 3 fucking games.
Yeah, the TCU is their only ranked opponent, and they're ranked 16 right now. So that means they could either be a top 10 team by then or a big flaming dumpster fire by then?
I mean, yes, in the world of college football, depending on who you talk to, it's Alabama and everybody else. But that number 2, 3, 4, 5 slots, those slots, yeah, that's hotly debated, but Ohio State's somewhere in there in most people's rankings. And let Ohio State catch Alabama on a bad day. It's just one game. Anything can happen. So, I mean, like I said, it just was shit. I don't know. In today's day and age, how he is still cashing checks, I don't understand. I just don't.
College football's back this weekend, and we got to talk about this bullshit.
Well, I mean, and I said it last show, and I said it to everybody I've talked to about this issue, even not on the show. I don't care if this was Harbaugh. Harbaugh, you got to go. I don't care if it's Bo Schembechler. You got to go. Sorry, dude. I mean, I could maybe, like I said.
What if it's Woody Hayes?
If it was... He fired Woody Hayes for throwing a punch at the fucking opposing player on the sidelines. Well, I mean, it was back then. I think beating your wife was in the marriage contract along with obey. Mm-hmm. They used to be in the vows.
Yeah, but you got a mistress or two out of it.
Oh, good. Yes, because I don't get my balls busted by my wife enough. Now I have to go find other women to bust my balls. Yeah. That's exactly what I want. That's why people are like, wouldn't it be great to have 4 wives? No.
Yeah. What? Times 4? Get the fuck out of here.
Because what happened? Okay, if you got your wife and you got 2 outside women, what are you going to do to make those outside women happy when you ain't spending Thanksgiving and Christmas with them?
Well, it's every time I watched the episode of Big Love, all I thought about was like, dude, this guy never has any peace. Like, maybe when he takes a shit, he has peace. But that's about it. Bathroom. Yeah. But anyway, are we done with Urban? I mean, it's a joke, right? And we've talked about it for last 3 weeks. Is there anything more we really need to say on the subject?
I think we're done talking about Urban, but I think this is going to have huge implications and repercussions.
Yeah. Oh, but remember, Michelle Beadle was done. She's done watching college football, right?
And she's also done at her show.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. See ya. I called that shit.
Like, you know what? I had this thought today. ESPN, for as much as you want to get on your fucking high horse the last few years and tell everybody what to think and how they should feel about shit, it sure seems funny when you threaten the commerce at ESPN, how quickly they show you their colors and remind you, hey, nope, it's all about the money here. I mean, it's from last year with Jamel Hill threatening the NFL to, Beadle says she's done watching college football while she's on the show that had just signed up like 11 rotating analysts for college football. They're like, see ya. You can go be not on this show.
Yeah. You know what, though? ESPN has totally revamped their whole listing. Totally. I mean, it used to be, Sports Center, day and night and day, just on a continuous loop. It used to be. Then it was all these shows.
It's made them great.
It was First Take and Get Up and blah, blah, blah. Now it's just sports. Seriously. If you turn on ESPN right now, it's just sports. And then you get the late night ESPN Sports Center with SVP. But during the day, you get the game, the baseball game that's going on right now, the Little League World Series that's going on right now, the soccer game that's happening right now. You don't get shows, First Take and all that shit. That's not on ESPN anymore.
Well, I don't know. I don't have ESPN, but I will say this. If they've learned their lesson, more power to them. I mean, look, like with Jamel Hill. If you want to be a sportscaster, then talk about sports when you're at your sports job. If you want to be a political commentator, do it when you're not doing your sports job. All there is to it. Or find an employer who will let you do that. And there are sport jobs that, like go work for Real Sports, where politics and sports are constantly, talked about. in conjunction with each other.
Okay. Now,
If
see, God.
But I mean, that's not how it's seen with these people. It's seen as, well, wait a minute, I have a right to express myself, and I have the biggest audience when I'm on the 6 o'clock Sports Center. So I'm going to express myself. And you're absolutely right. You have a right to express yourself. Now you have a right to starve. Because people didn't want to hear it.
Express yourself
All right, so-
right into irrelevance.
Right. So on ESPN right now is SVP, Sports Center at night with SVP. And Sports Center goes all the way through the night and the morning. And then at 6 a.m., it's the Get Up show, not with Michelle Beadle. Or
No longer
anything
with
like
Michelle Beadle.
that. But then at 9 o'clock, it is First Take. First Take is on there. And then after that, you got the U.S. Open tennis. And I mean, it goes, and I'm at 8 o'clock at night. And then at 10 o'clock, Sports Center. And then 11 o'clock, Sports Center at night with SVP. And then that goes on all the way through the night and the morning, and then it gets back to Get Up, First Take, and then back to tennis all fucking day. So all these little side shows and all these little sick bits that they used to do, not on ESPN anymore. They got two shows. They got Get Up and First Take, and then it's sports, period. And then at 10, 11 o'clock at night, they give you a Sports Center.
Yeah, but
It's August.
ESPN still hasn't gotten rid of all the talk, the opinion talking heads people, because Stephen A. Smith,
Sass.
Tiger Woods isn't black. Okay, I'm just going to say this. If he wasn't Tiger Woods and he was driving around in Livonia here in Michigan, he'd be pulled over in a heartbeat. Why? Because he's black.
DWB.
So he's like what? He's pretty much like what? The token, not black guy, but the token pot stirrer over at ESPN anymore. I mean, isn't he pretty much the last of it? Skip Bayless isn't there anymore.
Yeah, he's pretty much it.
He's ESPN's token person who's allowed to have an opinion.
You know, we talked about superstars and people around it and all that, but ESPN made their name by commentators that came up with cool ways to make it fun to watch sports.
To watch sports highlights.
Right, sports highlights, right. Boomer and Booyah,
The Raiders.
Right, all of that. And you wanted to tune in because he could go all the way. You wanted to see those highlights.
Want to hear Stuart Scott, GP, are you with me?
Right.
But, okay, once again, they were personalities reporting on sports. They weren't personalities who got their foot in the door reporting on sports and then started talking about politics on a sports show. They were known for being colorful sportscasters. I mean, let's just get it out here. Do you even think of Jamel Hill as a sports journalist?
No.
Absolutely not.
I think of her more of like someone who comments on modern culture, like a guest on Bill Maher.
Right.
Not.
Oh, most definitely. No. You can right there. She is definitely a Bill Maher host or personality that will go on Bill Maher. Absolutely.
And don't get it twisted. I watch Bill Maher, but I don't watch Bill Maher for sports, and I don't watch Sports Center for people to act like they're on Bill Maher. And the problem is that if she's saying what you want to hear, or if anyone on the sports channels are saying what you want to hear, those people go, well, let her speak. If she's saying shit you don't agree with, the opposite of those people, or those people who would get upset and this ain't the time to talk about it. And I'm just in the middle going, can I just get some fucking sports highlights and scores?
Yeah.
Can I get some analysis of the play? Can you break down why this quarterback had a career day?
Can I get a box score, please?
It's politics.
Yeah, I hate it when it's running in the background and they don't say shit. It's like, but that was awesome. Say something about that. Look. And they're sitting there going, and if they weren't going to stand for the flag, and it's like, I don't care about the flag. Look.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I checked out on SportsCenter when they basically the final straw for me was they played hockey highlights that no one was commenting on. It was, I mean, they didn't even have the local feed commentary. It was just the noises of the hockey game. And I'm like, is this... is a Specs graduate running the board, the soundboard? Did they fuck up? No. Every single hockey highlight in that like minute and a half segment was like that.
They're saving grace. Their hockey guru now is Melrose Place.
Well, I mean, Barry Melrose has been, like Canada don't want him no more, so he's like, the U.S. hockey guy. You get
right because you can't find Don Cherry anywhere. Can't even find a highlight of Don Cherry anywhere.
Hockey Night Canada, Coach's Corner, without Don Cherry. Like what is this dude? Like, on his deathbed? Don't have Coach's Corner without Don Cherry. What the fuck is that? But, whatever. I digress. But yeah, the Jemele Hill thing is just, see, ESPN learned from Jemele Hill how to handle the situation with Michelle Beadle. Yes.
Beadle. Yep.
They went, okay, nope, we're nipping this in the bud. You don't want to watch football? Fine. You will be on a show that does not talk about football at all. Go enjoy reporting on the NBA.
Yeah, no shit, because she was like, thanks for giving me my weekends and blah, blah, blah. And ESPN was like, have your weekends, your week, next year, have it all. You're not here anymore.
Yeah, you're not going to talk about... we're about to come into football season. You're not gonna, because remember too, she hasn't been watching pro football. She gave up on that, I believe, last season as well. So this would be season number 2 of her not watching pro football. So if she's just out on football altogether, you're gonna need to talk about football because that's kind of what we do here. See ya.
And Jemele Hill, they get you off of the 6 o'clock Sports Center. Now you can go report for what was it, The Root? Like a sports
something I didn't read.
Sports / culture / social justice website, and
/ nobody cares.
Yeah, and she took a look around and said, "Oh, I'm like the guy who got his stapler stolen in Office Space. They've moved me to the basement. I can't even listen to my radio at a reasonable volume. I guess I should quit." And so they had a agreement to separate, which I'm pretty sure was her going, am I ever going to be back in front of a camera on ESPN and host anything of any it's noteworthy whatsoever? And when ESPN went, no, you had your shot. You not only fucked up once, you fucked up twice. You went after Jerry Jones, then you went after football. Actually, you fucked up 3 times. Then you went after the president. And you forgot that, a good portion of people who watch sports voted for that man. So, yeah, you're fucking with our money. Later for you, sweetheart.
Yeah, and even the people that didn't vote for him absolutely want to see a football highlight and be talked about football. Not told that it's toxic masculinity.
Stop making me feel guilty
racist.
for doing something that I like to do every fucking Sunday for 4 months a year. Stop it. All I want to do every Sunday is watch fucking football. Stop making me feel guilty about it. Stop. Ugh.
But dude, this isn't.
It's not white privilege. It's having a penis. All right. It's having a penis and living in the United States of America. All right.
It's like Patrice O'Neal said when he pointed at Mr. 4.0 with the fucking nerd glasses in his crowd, and he goes, "You watch football?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "What dude doesn't watch football?" Like, no, it's just a little too violent for me. He's like, and he looks at the other guy. He's like, "You watch football?" He's like, "Yeah." "How long?" "All my life." "Yeah, see? you play football in high school? Yeah. And that's when he went into we were warriors. We were gladiators.
Get his socks.
I have socks on my fucking legs.
Like, oh, them motherfuckers tied paralyzed dudes' socks to their helmets and shit. Like, you know, our crowd's chanting, "He's paralyzed. He's paralyzed." Oh Christ! But yeah, maybe we should like next episode like make it like an annual thing when the football season actually kicks off. We play that bit in its entirety.
All right, we can do that.
Just to remind people. Guess what? Even though ESPN Monday Night Football don't allow jacked up, that's still what the sport's about.
Yes.
But, so I have to think that anybody at ESPN who's like thinking they're gonna.
Hey, Rich, I just thought about something, dude.
Okay.
When Michelle made that comment on the show and shit, you know, Jalen Rose was looking at her like he looked at Chris Webber. I don't know her. I ain't got nothing to do with her. I'm over here doing my thing.
Surprised he didn't look at her like and just say, "Bitch, please," and just fucking. Anyway,
I'm surprised he didn't just shake her hand and was like, "Hey, it was nice doing shows with you."
Guess who's getting more screen time? Jalen Rose.
Hey, Christmas came early. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just hoping for a card, but you're gonna give me more screen time? All right, cool. One less person to compete with, and that I got to talk over.
I mean, to both her and Jamel Hill, I hope it was worth it. Congratulations, you took your stand. I hope it was worth it.
I hope the friends and people you hang out with, that's what, you know, they were hoping for, and you can go back and have Mai Tais and laugh.
Enjoy your studio apartment, Jamel Hill.
And here's the thing that nobody but me will comment on, because they're chicken shits and they're scared of the backlash, and I don't give a fuck. All right? Because I just don't care anymore. I'm just going to call it like I fucking see it. You notice it was two fucking women. No, I got to say what I got to say. Go ahead, sweetheart. In fact, see that plot right there? Here's a shovel. Go ahead and dig your own grave. Because you know once that shit happened with Jamel Hill, you know that the word came from the top down. Whether it was a direct order or it was just, hey, look, man, the word at the top is you get out here and start fucking shitting on the people that put money in our fucking, you know, food in our bank accounts and food in our table. You ain't gonna have a job here for very much longer. And no, I got it. We've all had that girlfriend. Can we not have this discussion in the middle of the mall at 3:00 on a Saturday afternoon? No, I gotta talk about it now. Go ahead, make yourself look like a crazy bitch in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out.
You did this.
I mean, dude, you know I'm damn near, like, when it comes to freedom of speech, say whatever the fuck you want. But the one thing that everyone forgets when I say that is the second part I say, just be prepared for the consequences of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, ESPN isn't the government. First Amendment doesn't apply. Quite honestly.
The Bill of Rights is not listed among the papers you signed when you hired into ESPN.
Freedom of press, freedom of speech, or the freedom against the government. If you're
corporations can censor you all they want. The government can't.
Correct.
Right. The government. Donald Trump did not call into ESPN and say fire Michelle Beadle and Jamel Hill.
He might have. I mean, that doesn't seem out of character, let's be honest.
Well, it doesn't. But even if he did, that's not what happened.
They don't have to comply.
Well, once again, just, guys, you're ESPN. Stick to sports. All right? You want to inject
real hard.
You want to inject politics into sports. That's what your 30 for 30s are for. That's what E60's for. Those are shows that if you tune in, you know you're going to get a side of politics with your main serving of sports. And the fact that so many people were so tired of turning into ESPN and getting a main dish of politics and a tiny side helping of sports, now you see what happens. Because, hey, we're going to give people a platform to talk about social justice, and we support that type of stuff, and blah, 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 blah. Hey, your numbers are down, and guess what? So's our income. Everybody's just going to talk about sports now.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying. They made their name with sports personalities talking about highlights. And then they tried to get funky with it and lost every fucking thing.
Yeah, it wasn't broken. They tried to fix it.
Right, absolutely. But let me ask you this. What if Michelle Beadle just senses that, the time for ESPN is coming to an end and just went out her way?
No.
Well, guys, she still works for ESPN.
Yeah, she can get fired. Yeah, she's just been put into no man's land.
Wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming.
Now, that very well might be. But she's going to be part of it. See, now this is where I'm like, yeah, this doesn't sound good for her. She's going to be part of a new NBA post-game show after the buzzer. And I'm like, what are the chances of a new show succeeding? What are the chances of a new show going down in flames? And everybody that's on that show being let go. So,
Well, here's the thing. If the ratings are low on Get Up. The ratings are going to be low on that show. The common denominator is her. They can't fire her outright for what she said, because then it's sexist, and they could be sued.
Well, that's when if this After the Buzzer show does a nosedive and is garbage in the ratings, and it only airs twice a week. It's going to air Wednesdays and Fridays after ESPN's NBA doubleheaders.
Yeah, so she went from Monday through Friday to twice a week.
Yeah, the next stop is replacing Jamel Hill at the Root is... And she's going to be in the basement talking about, someone throw my stapler.
Yeah. Set the building on fire.
Oh, Christ. Well, speaking of, I know this wasn't really on the itinerary here, but when I was clicking on the Michelle Beadle story, there's a story that popped up. Bob Costas is in talks to leave NBC.
And go where?
And why?
No idea. Let's see here. Bob Costas, this is via USA Today, published today on the 28th. Bob Costas is in talks to leave NBC. Only the Peacock has served NBC Sports longer. Costas' representatives NBC have held discussions that could result in a longtime face of NBC Sports being let out of a contract that currently runs through 2021. The person who reported this requested anonymity because of the sensitive nature of the discussions. NBC declined to comment on Costas' potential departure. Costas declined to comment on the specifics, but offered some general comments and a pair of brief phone calls with USA Today. This is a quote from Costas. There was a very long period of time when NBC's program suited my interest and abilities very well, from late-night talk show later to news magazines to baseball, the NBA, and the Olympics, Costas said. After deciding my own to leave the Olympics after having done a dozen of them, you just look around and say, what was once a perfect fit no longer fits that description. It would be as if NBC suddenly lost the rights to hockey, Costas said. They wouldn't think any less of Mike Emmerich, and he wouldn't think any less of them. But they'd have to go find a place to do what he does best. He would have to go find a place to do what he does best. By that, Costas doesn't mean baseball. He already broadcast games from MLB Network. The New York Post, which first reported about the talks, that reported that Costas wants to pursue a journalism show that includes news-making interviews and commentary, some of which might extend beyond sports. That's the sort of show that might appeal to paid networks such as HBO or Showtime or streaming services.
He wants to tell us what to do.
Well, I mean, okay.
He's going to be one of those guys.
But hold on a sec. Because this speaks to what I just said like 30 minutes ago. if you want to talk about sports, if you want to talk about politics and every once in a while talk about sports, and your job is to talk about sports, find a new job. So if he feels compelled to make social commentary, at least he's intelligent enough to go, NBC, this isn't the right venue for this. So why don't we just both walk away before someone gets fired and there's a big, stinking to do about shit.
Or what I'm thinking is, there's a Me Too coming and he's getting out ahead of it.
Well, I'm just thinking that he's made some comments before that ruffled some feathers. After one of those shootings, he went into what seemed to be ad-libbed mini rant about, gun violence in America. And you know how it is in this country these days.
Mm-hmm.
You say the word gun and fucking Twitter explodes for the next fucking 4 hours. So, I don't know. Costas declined to comment on those possibilities, but he is known for outspoken commentary. He spoke to here we go. He spoke at the University of Maryland in 2017 instead of football. The reality is this game destroys people's brains. The NFL is a business partner with NBC on Sunday Night Football, which has been a top-rated program in prime time for the last 7 seasons.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah, this isn't 1997 where you can go to a college graduation and say some shit and the odds of it getting out are slim to none. Everybody has a fucking mobile news studio in their pocket. So, yeah, if he got up there and said, hey, look, football's killing people. Yeah, I don't know.
Uncle Roger heard you were talking shit. You gotta go.
Well, it is going to be weird. I understand that, as we get older, we have to get used to the guys we grew up with not being there and retiring. But I kind of remember Costas when he was a young guy.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like oh shit, I'm drawing like a Keith Jackson type thing or something like that, where he's just always been there. Like, I remember when he was like the young guy at NBC, and he was the up and coming guy, and then he was the man at NBC. So it's just, I don't know. All I can say is I stick by what I said. If he wants to go and talk about more social issues, and he understands that NBC Sports isn't the platform to do so, more power to him. I kind of think he probably said something at that University of Maryland graduation in 2017. NBC got wind of it, on top of the other shit he said over the years, and probably told him, you can't do that anymore. And it probably got his nose out of joint, and that's why he's like, well, then just let me out of my contract.
But I'm Bob Costas. Well, go say that shit on HBO then. Well, then maybe I will.
Can you imagine him and Brian Gumbel on the same set?
Oh, my God.
No. The self-righteous smug smog.
Yeah, I know, right?
It would overtake that studio in about 3 seconds. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so that's that concludes today's segment on people who are supposed to talk about sports but don't, kind of like we're doing right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Guilty.
Well, the problem is that we're not a fucking, X's and O's type show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to sit down and talk about, Nick Castellanos, his war?
No.
We'll talk about, how he's a leader in the clubhouse and on the field, but he has no glove, no game in the field. Yeah, we all know this. What is there to talk about?
No, you could talk about Verlander's $1 million bill. If you don't talk about baseball.
Definitely talk about that.
Being a Dodger killer.
Yeah.
For winning the World Series. That's awesome.
Yeah, where was he was having lunch in Beverly Hills? Ooh. The bill came from the waiter at the Cabana Cafe at the Beverly Hills Hotel, included $30 pancakes. What the fuck was in these pancakes?
I'm saying, man, there was more comments about the fucking bill that nobody cared about the $1 million like they should have.
The
No.
$42 salad. I want to know what is in this $42 salad, because wasn't there 2 of them on there?
There was.
Yes.
Are they
Kate Upton was with him.
Are they growing that lettuce in Jennifer Connelly's pussy or something? What?
No, you can't put it sexual like that because Kate Upton was with him.
Some people would argue she needs the salad. Not me. But
I've seen her fappening pics. She might be into it.
Yeah.
Just saying, man.
I'm damn sure Justin Verlander is a red-blooded American male who's straight. Pretty sure he ain't gonna be like, what? You want me to watch you fuck another chick? Oh, this is the end of the relationship. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Am I not enough for you?
I thought you said you wanted to sling her. No? Oh, man.
No, he's gonna be like, well, I did take that marriage vow in sickness and health, and this is pretty sick. But honey, if it gets you off to watch me fuck one of your friends, well, I'll do what I have to do.
Watch me pitch this perfect game.
Let's see what.
2 balls, no strikes.
A skim latte with vanilla syrup for $9. Cranberry juice for $10.
$10 cranberry juice. Get the fuck out of
A
here.
green envy for
cure-
$20.
That better not only cure, but I better never, ever get a UTI.
2 of these McCarthy salads. What the fuck are in these salads?
Okay, are we sure he was at Beverly Hills and not Comerica Park?
I know, right? And then 2 eggs any style with meat. $28.
Well, I mean, if you're eating steak and eggs and you got a good cut of steak, that's not that unheard of.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, go to IHOP for God's sake.
It's an open miscellaneous for $1 million for a Dodger killer.
Hey, you know what I said when I saw it? Hashtag tip the bill.
It'd be a bitch if he just paid the bill and was like, whatever.
You probably could.
He could. In a heartbeat, he could. But I mean, at that point, the owner's going to be like, well, technically this isn't a tip, so it goes to me.
Right.
Hey,
No, I'm serious. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. Hashtag tip the bill.
Hey, well, you know who actually did get paid?
Don't say it.
Dude, Odell.
Don't go there. Don't do. Oh, dude.
Odell.
Stop it.
5 years. $95 million.
For all the shit, god damn, I didn't hear the numbers until right now. God damn, for a wide receiver?
Guaranteed $65 million.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Jesus,
There's
God.
no fucking way
But
he is worth that
yes,
much
he
money.
is, Ice. I didn't want to do this in the chat because I wanted to do this on the show.
I got a feeling I know what's coming.
Way.
Well, no, just because when we all know the qualifier, durability, all right? When he's healthy, he is arguably the best player in his position in the game.
Seriously?
His first 50 games have been the best first 50 games out of any wide receiver in the history of the game.
He is so worth that money.
The problem is, can he stay healthy?
Yes.
That's the risk they're taking.
He can't even win a fight against the kicking net, man.
Hey,
that's not what he's getting paid for.
Yeah, he's paid to catch the football, and he does it so well. He does it so well.
Well, we're going to see.
Here's my thing. That's a lot of money for a wide receiver. And that this is just raising the bar on what wide receivers are going to get paid. I mean, it's going to get to the point in football where you're not going to have an offensive line worth of shit because you can't pay them, because you got to pay your fucking running back and your quarterback and your wide receiver and your defensive back. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I mean, we bitch about the Lions being a one-dimensional team. All they have is Stafford and pass the ball. They can't run the ball for shit. Well, you keep paying your receiving cores and the person tossing the ball to them this type of money that they're paying, everybody's going to have a shit running game. Unless you got a freaking nature that back there who can just make shit happen out of nothing. I mean, that is fucking insane. And what's his hit against the salary cap?
It is the salary cap.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like...
Yeah, there's no more room. Between him and Saquon Barkley, it's all over.
Saquon.
Well, Barkley gets a rookie contract. And I think the rookie, there's a max to it. It's that second contract that he can really cash in on. And if I'm correct, rookie contracts in the NFL go 4 years with an option for 5. Because wasn't that... yeah, because Donkey Kong Sue was on one here in Detroit. And after his 5 years, it was 2 1s pimping. I'm off to Miami. I have me a co-star and slot on Ballers.
Yeah, I'm off to Miami to be mediocre.
And now he's playing for the fucking Rams. Christ.
Yeah, he might get a Super Bowl. Or at least an appearance.
But yeah, that is, I don't know, man. That's just a lot of money for a fucking wide receiver. I mean, that is a lot. I get it. He's when he's healthy, he's arguably the best on the field at his position right now. Cool. Am I paying Jerry Rice in his prime $90 million? No. I mean, what the fuck happens when Eli retires? Who the fuck they got to throw to him?
What about Megatron? Would you pay him $90 million?
Yeah. A year.
You can tell you guys are Lions fans. Man, I don't. I mean, honestly, yeah, I would pay Jerry Rice in his prime if I could get him locked down for 4 or 5 years. I might pay $90 million. T.O. is too fucking. He was too much of a wild card. I wouldn't risk that money and that length of a contract on a player who's going to fucking talk his way out of town in a year or two. Megatron, I would, simply because, yes, he could produce, and he also kept his opinions to himself and wasn't a fucking cancer to the team. I mean, he definitely says what he wants to say now. I mean, shit. He's come out since he's retired and been like, yeah, part of the reason I left and retired is because what the fuck are the Lions doing? Nothing. I'm not.
What about Brown?
What about
Steelers? Is he not worth $90 million?
Yeah, he's worth $90 million.
He's better than Odell.
But any given Sunday. Depends which Sunday. I mean, those guys, that's who trades back and forth at 1 and 2. Depends on the week.
My problem is when the decline starts, it's a steep fucking decline, and it's very quick.
Deshaun Jackson, looking at you.
I mean, it's not as quick as running backs, but I'd say it's the second quickest. So, I mean, it's just like, you better strike while the iron's hot and hope that he's good for the length of that contract and know when to get the fuck out of that contract. That's why we've talked now for almost 2 decades about the Patriots being the crown jewel of the NFL, because they know when to cut guys loose. They know what guys to bring in and nobody else wanted, and they know when to cut guys loose before they start becoming a detriment to the team.
Kenny Britt.
I don't know if I trust the GM for the Giants that much. That's just what I'm saying. Even though, well, I don't know. Odell's done some on the fly repair to his reputation and image. So, I mean, the whole thing of being able to laugh at himself about the fucking, the kicker's net and shit. Yeah, okay, he got pissed. He did something stupid on the sidelines. How many times have we seen a pitcher get pulled from a game and destroy the fucking Gatorade jug?
I remember Gibby. He'd strike out, go back and just tear the dugout up.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You don't want a player who does it all the time, but it does happen.
Hey,
But because you did want somebody who broke the bat over their knee, I'm looking at you, Bo Jackson.
Well, Bo Jackson was a
freak of fucking nature.
Yeah. He's like a genetic experiment gone right.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Like, I remember that motherfucker climbing the wall, Spider-Man style, to get a fucking ball in center field. And the announcer was like, and he goes back, and he climbs the wall. Like, I've never seen that before. Like, he just literally, that motherfucker ran up a wall, a vertical wall.
My Detroit Lions heart was tested because I'm down here in Wichita talking about best running back ever. Well, native born, Wichita born. It's Barry Sanders, obviously. And somebody looked at me, and then I was at a restaurant, and they spun around, and they go, Bo Jackson. And I went, oh, shit. Because I can't. How do you argue that?
He didn't have longevity.
Power. Well, he didn't have longevity, but he had power. He had speed.
Bo knew the IR.
The man played two different sports, man.
Yeah, so did Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Well, prime time. Yeah.
No, if Bo Jackson had the length of career Barry Sanders had, then yeah. But if you're going to talk about all around, you have to the all around best. You have to take into consideration every aspect. You just have to. I mean, it's like the all around best player right now in baseball is Mike Trout. May not be the best power hitter. May not be the most speedy guy out there. But he's a five-tool guy, and he's well above average in all areas. So all around, yeah, I'd give it to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, look back at like someone like Barry Bonds. He was a lock for the Hall of Fame before he ever stuck a needle in his fucking ass. But look at when he also sacrificed. He became a fucking, I'm going to hit 70-plus home runs a year, but he ain't stealing no more bases. Motherfucker can barely reach around to wipe his ass. He was so muscle-bound.
Right.
Surprised he didn't just have a stick with a rag on it.
It's a great mental picture.
He's got enough money. He can get one of the clubhouse fucking clubhouse boy. Come here, wipe Barry Bonds' ass.
Barry Bonds just stands up, turns around, and wipes it on a towel. He just moves up and down on the towel. That's all.
Don't be afraid to get up there and put some pressure on there.
Get it nice and clean. Use that Charmin.
Got to do some channel maintenance. Get it up to one knuckle. That's fine.
Start channeling my inner Eddie Murphy. Whoa, slow down, boy.
I want you to use a real towel. I want a fresh one from the dryer so it's warm.
My anus is quivering in anticipation.
Yeah.
Like a pink little rabbit nose. Come here.
Humming. Way to go there, Barry Boy.
Norton.
Now that we put that image in everybody's head, you're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, every time they look at Barry Bonds, are going to be like, oh my God.
Like, why am I thinking about Barry Bonds' quivering asshole? I don't
get a C&D from Barry Bonds.
Hey, on a kind of same note, different topic entirely. Watched Football Life for Emmitt Smith. Do you know he was so proud when he got the rushing title?
Yeah, he's so proud. The very next play, he lost it. He went for negative yards and went back under total yards for his career. I'm like, wow. Yeah, that was a good look, Emmett.
Yeah, it showed him hugging Moose Johnson and hugging his wife and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, you did that as a Cardinal, dick. If Barry Sanders had even thought of going a little longer, you'd have never touched it.
Yeah, but Detroit did the same thing to him that did to Megatron. Right. Oh, you're not going to play for anybody else. Like, you'll have to retire if you don't want to play for us. And they were like, all right, bet.
Rich, we need a non sequitur sound effect.
I know, right? Problem is, I just keep thinking all the ones that Drew and Mark use for Mazaway.
Yes. I play them in my head. Or this is non sequitur. I should just get the dog yelling squirrel.
Pretty much, or the sound of keys rattling.
No, we were talking about fucking running backs. Anyways.
Yeah, but I think it's all back. Yeah, we were talking about Odell got paid, and we'll see what next on
Well, he's got the best quarterback ever
list of
throwing to us.
Well, I mean, we do have 3 hosts whose 2 teams played each other in the dress rehearsal game for preseason.
Oh,
and can I say?
Oh, yeah.
Can I safely say that we were all 3 thoroughly, like meh? Like
it's gonna be an awesome season.
Yeah, I was trying
can't
so
wait.
hard. I was like, they kicked Tampa Bay's ass. They whipped Tampa Bay up and down the field. No, they didn't. No, they
That's
didn't.
the dress rehearsal for both teams.
the only thing I can say is
Fuck.
109-yard field goal attempt run back. That's it. That's the only good thing. That's the only good thing I took from that game. Seriously.
Hey, we got a punt return later in the game. I don't want to hear it. Negated your kick return at the half. White boy can run though. I'm going to tell you that. Keep him. He's got a spot.
First of all, it's preseason football.
Yeah.
Second of all, these aren't 2 Super Bowl contenders that were in this slugfest.
No.
This is it.
Depends who you talk to.
Well, I said it off the air, and I'll say it here. Ziggy Ansah, I don't know if it was the team or him, but it was the team, I believe. They declined his option for next season. So unless something happens, he's going to be a free agent.
Well, they franchise tagged him this year.
Well, what that tells me is Matt Patricia's probably like, no, he's still under contract. Can't franchise a guy who's still under contract.
Pretty sure he got franchise tagged, bro.
This man may be right. Let me check.
I'm pretty darn sure.
Am I the victim of fake news? Why was I want to say M Live report that the team didn't pick up his option.
Well, they might have had an option after this year.
No, he used a franchise tag according to DetroitLions.com on July 16th, 2018.
See, the story I got, Ziggy Ansah, or the Lions won't sign Ansah to long-term NFL deal.
Well, yeah, they can't because he's a franchise player. Isn't that correct? Isn't that why? They make you a franchise player so they don't have to pay you. They pay you the average salary of your position.
Yeah, they couldn't reach a agreeable condition on both sides. And they said, all right, well, here, take the franchise tag. They did the same thing to, what's his nuts in Pittsburgh? Twice.
Bell?
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, yeah, that's why he's fucking leaving after this season. Come to Detroit,
Lions next year.
Come to Detroit.
Lions next year.
Come to Detroit. For the love of God, come to Detroit. He's not going to come to Detroit, but
yeah, he is.
I can dream, can't I?
Well, to me, this tells me one thing. It tells me that this is going to be a mulligan. This entire season is a freebie for fucking Matt Patricia.
Dude,
that's what this tells me. And then next year, he's going to start building the defense as he wants to build it. And that means what? Like I said before, 2-3 years at minimum before he gets the defense just how he wants it.
He was still pissed off. He had his ones playing in the third quarter after halftime. Like, dude.
Well, I
yell at him later. Don't try to get him hurt in the preseason. What are you doing?
I don't know, man. My point is, I don't give a fuck how long he played the fucking people, and I don't know what that fuck has to do with what I was saying. My point is that y'all better strap in for another 3-4 years of sitting around talking about we're a couple of years out.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
This isn't a retooling that he stepped in on. This seems like it's going to be a rebuild from the ground up.
Dude, we've been a couple of years out since they fucking founded the Lions.
And at this point, we need to start. The other thing, I think that the denial, the sheer hubris of the Lions fan, for at least for this season, is something we need to start thinking about. Is life after Matt Stafford? This is his 10th season.
Yeah.
So realistically, we got 5 years or less left with this guy.
Even, well, no, I think it was Peyton Manning's 10th season he won the Super Bowl. But up until then, he was the best player who can't win the big game. I don't think the Lions are even anywhere close to sniffing a Super Bowl this season. So,
but the problem with the Lions is we always had the best player in a position, and we never got anything to go around with them. We always had the best running back, in the NFL, but nothing to go with them.
We arguably had the best quarterback, but the best receiver in the league together for 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck?
Right. So you got a quarterback and a receiver, and that's going to win you games?
No, as you saw in last week's preseason game, what's going to lose you games is the fact that the Lions have no pass rush and they can't stop the run.
Right. So, I mean, that's my point, Chris. We had the best quarterback-receiver combo in the league. But that's all we had. We didn't put nothing with it. We didn't put any running game with it. No offensive line with it. A defense that could stop a whole team for a whole game.
You had
we
that
relied on
one
Matt
year.
Stafford and Calvin Johnson to fucking come back in the fourth quarter.
Hey,
well,
One year we had the most dominant fucking defense I've ever seen in Detroit, and no offense.
Wait a minute, I totally forgot. We're going to the Super Bowl. We got LeGarrette Blount.
Oh yeah, we got the Lombardi Trophy guy.
He's like the good luck charm, right?
The past 3 seasons.
2. Don't count this season yet. But if I'm a Lions fan, this is what I'm doing. Okay, Matt Patricia, tear down this team this season. Get who you don't want. If I play a season with these players, get who you don't want out of here. Get who you do want in here. Build that defense. Get that defense to be a fucking elite defense. Okay, hopefully Stafford still got something in the tank. Start making your fucking run. And do it ASAP. I mean, because, yes, Stafford's not getting any younger. Yeah, he signed that fucking contract, but that don't mean that he's going to be able to physically complete the fucking contract. It's football. It's not fucking ice skating out there. They're not playing. It ain't curling, where like, oh, I broke a nail. Shit, No. He's always one hit away from retirement.
Yeah, I was going to say, keep in mind, most of these guys are always one fucking hit away from, that's it. Lights out. Done. Who's his backup? Iceman, tell me. Huh?
Jake Rudock.
All right. So we're all set then. Super Bowl bound.
Matt Castle, Jake Rudock.
Oh, Matt Castle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt Castle
is a Lion?
Yes. Notice I said Jake Rudock.
Goddamn, Matt Castle. Just retire. Now it's just sad.
That's why I said Jake Rudock. I knew all about Matt Castle.
Damn, how many ex-wives does Matt Castle have?
Jesus God, I didn't realize it. Okay. First of all, he's 36 years old. His first year was 2005. Okay, the list of teams he's played for.
All of them? Is it like the entire...
Patriots, Chiefs, Vikings, Bills, Cowboys, Titans, Lions. What are you trying to get more fucking frequent flyer miles than Jeff George?
I know, right? Let's toss in Seattle.
Good Lord, you're a professional backup. Like, when you retire, they're going to be like, so what was your position in football? Professional backup. That's it.
Yeah.
Jesus God.
Being the Hall of Fame is a backup.
And, oh my God, I forgot he played at USC. And guess who he backed up there?
Liner.
Yes. Played 4 seasons. The most games he ever played was 10 in 2002.
Hey, he won that battle. Leinert's been out of the league for years. Castle's still in an NFL uniform.
Yeah. No.
He'll get an NFL pension.
If Castle wants to hang his hat on that, I guess he can.
It's the little victories, Rich.
God, he hasn't been a starter, it looks like, since 2010.
Ooh. That's 8 years ago.
He had one complete season where he played 16 games, and that was the year that Brady went down, 2008. He played 15 in 2009, 15 in 2010, 3 years of 9, and then he's just pretty much been a backup. He played 8 in Dallas in 2015, and he hasn't played more than 4 games since 2000, except for that one season since 2014. Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, more power to him, man. Make your money.
Exactly.
Can't get hurt riding the bench except for splinters in your ass.
Get short paper.
What Cat Williams say? Make your money, boo boo.
Oh,
but yeah, I had to tell Chris this, so I will say this. Barring some sort of miracle, like, I can't get emotionally invested in this year's fucking Tampa Bay Bucks. I've seen absolutely nothing that said I really need to fucking, like, let my Sunday mood be determined by how they do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can't buy into Fitz.
No, I can't buy into fucking Captain Crab Leg and
Mike Evans
and Cotter, and
you're not on the Peyton Barber train.
No. I just, at this point, I'm like, okay, so when do we finally throw in the towel on the Jameis Winston experiment and start all over trying to find that elusive franchise quarterback that they've never had? Here's the bitch of it. With all Jameis Winston's bullshit, he's like a cunt hair away from setting all the Tampa Bay passing records. That is sad.
I'm gonna go with it's more the receivers than him.
See, here's the okay. Besides his rambling on the pregame speeches, eating W's and shit, and his like, oh god, dude, I watched it was a compilation of all his rah-rah speeches, and dude, just comment after comment on YouTube was, what the fuck is he talking about? He is aware that he's at a football game, right? Like, what the fuck is he talking? Like, that Drew and Mike drop, and I looked at him. I said, "Are you strong?" And they went, "I'm strong." And I'm like, "Well, then we strong." What the fuck are you talking about? Yep, I'm motivated to do what? I don't know, but I'm motivated to do it. I'm gonna eat this W. What are you doing? Just sit down, jackass. Just, and it's his off the field bullshit, and it's not young, dumb guy fuck ups. He is what? This is his 5th season.
He doesn't. He knows that he has to be an inspirational leader, but he has no idea how.
Well, dude, you can't be fucking stealing fucking crab legs, sexually assaulting Uber drivers, out doing shit like you're a dumbass high school kid with no fucking sense when you're supposed to be the face of a franchise. What the fuck you think you playing for? The early 90s Cowboys? Even Aikman didn't pull that shit. He let everybody else on the team do it.
Hanging out with Greg Hardy too goddamn long.
Now that's consent. If any nosy honky reporter start asking you questions.
This will be season 4 for
it's just 4th
Captain
season?
Craig Legs. Yeah.
God, it only feels like 5 years.
His rookie year was 2015. Rich is just like, it feels like 10 years.
It does. It does. And like, dude, I went back and I watched a few of the last year's Hard Knocks with him. And like at some point during the filming of that show, he went from somewhat of a genuine, a guy who appeared genuine, to just trying way too hard. I think he saw himself on TV and was like, "Oh, I look like an idiot," and so he became a tryhard, and he looked even more like an idiot.
He already owns a ton of franchise records.
That's what I said. He's on the verge of owning all of their passing records.
Yeah, he's got most passing touchdowns in the game, most passing touchdowns by a rookie, most passing yards by a rookie, most rushing touchdowns by a rookie quarterback in the season, most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in the season, highest single season completion percentage by a rookie, most passing touchdowns in the season, most passing yards in the season. Yes, and a bunch of others I don't want to read because they're long. So yeah,
and you know, okay, you know what their number one is in passing yards ever?
Who's that?
Vinny Testaverde.
Oh, snap.
Then Josh Freeman. Then Trent Dilfer.
Josh Freeman.
Then Doug Williams. See, I'm like, you have...
That list of losers.
Testaverde, Freeman, Dilfer, Williams, Jameis Winston, Brad Johnson, Steve DeBerg, Craig Erickson. Oh, boy. Coming in at number 9, Jeff Garcia. Talk about a fucking career backup. Oh, great. Mike Glennon is number 11 in career passing yards.
Mike Glennon, who got all that money thrown at him by Chicago to sit on the bench.
That's the best quarterback they ever had. They had for 2 seasons. Steve Young, and they got rid of him.
Yeah, who wants that loser?
Was it old Steve Young? Or was it young Steve Young when nobody knew who he was?
Young Steve Young.
85, 86.
Oh, shit. Whoops. Oops.
Oopsie.
I mean, it's like, I remember him in the creamsicle uniform. I'm like, Jesus God. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Dude, their all-time leading rusher, James Wilder. Who?
There's a guy. He's a fan. Their
winningest coach.
He was caller 10. He won a contest.
The winningest coach in the history of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, John Gruden, with a 57-55 record.
Wow.
That's
the winningest coach, 2 games above 500.
He just pissed over 500. That's it. He
stumbled out of bed.
All-time leading scorer, Martin Gramatica.
It's like when Stewie ended up in the Jewish School Sports Hall of Fame when he kicked the soccer ball.
Oh, God.
Well, I say wow, but I mean, coming from a Detroit Lions fan who had Jason Hansen.
Best kicker ever.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between Hansen's 2,100 points and Grammatica's 500 points.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
it could be worse. Your final score could have been 5-0.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what baseball game did they get that score from? But okay, here's the Lions, and here's the thing: they don't have a Super Bowl, but they have a much more respectable franchise records holders.
Well, that's what I was telling you. We always had the best in one position. Never put anything with them.
Passing Stafford, rushing Sanders, receiving Johnson, scoring leader Hansen, but
leader Sue.
Winningest coach Wayne Fonts, 66-67.
Wayno.
Cocaine Wayne. Oh, Jesus God. Yeah, good times. Good fucking times.
You guys ready for this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's get it on.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, it's back. Football's back.
Cue Europe.
Oh.
Why? This isn't like a basketball game from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the Pistons who used to come out to that shit?
Yeah.
Like, really? That's the whitest shit ever. And the Pistons are going to come out to that. Like the Red Wings would be like, nah, buddy, that's too white. We can't come out to that, eh? Like, we got to get some soul in there. Put some Journey on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that song dropped and that stadium lit.
Yeah, because
I don't even think you could hear Steve Perry.
Oh, you talking about the Red Wings game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, unfortunately, white girls and skinny jean wearing hipsters have made it cool somehow to, born and raised in South Detroit. You mean Windsor?
There's no South Detroit. South Detroit's the river. There's Southwest Detroit. But
I was raised in Southeast Detroit, so the middle of the Detroit River.
Yeah.
Were you raised on a raft?
Rich, I've been seeing.
Just got done. I just got done watching the.
Is this another non-sequitur moment?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Squirrel. Watching the episode of Hard Knocks where the 5-0 score was done. You're gonna love it if you watch. Are you guys gonna watch it?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna love it.
Yep, it's available. Yep.
All right, then I won't spoil it for you.
Well, I last week was, all this build-up. Oh, man. It's the Des Bryant visit. And I watched it, and I was like, this is nothing but just a photo op.
Pretty much.
He literally walked into to the fucking complex and introduced himself to everybody. I mean, the motherfucker putting sausage gravy on his biscuits. He went up and shook his hand, gave him a fucking bro bump. I'm like, what are you trying to rehab your image?
Yeah, because there's teams that he could be on right now that because of his image, he's not. They could use somebody else to catch football in Seattle. New England could use somebody to catch football. These are two teams that could be, perennial playoff favorites, and they need pass catchers, and you need a gig. Maybe it's time to stop being a dick, Des Bryant.
Well, I forgot. Eric Decker just retired.
Yep.
Eric Decker, another in a long line of white boys who Tom Brady's given hope could play in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed that Jason Witten retired.
Why? He's like 50. He had to stop sometime.
Yeah, but damn.
But damn. Fuck. What?
That's a Tony Gonzalez moment.
Should just be in a robot body? He was like 50 when he retired, too.
I know. They were just the best at their position, though.
Not everyone can be Ray Lewis. No, seriously. I remember beginning of the 2009 season, all this talk about should Ray Lewis retire? Should Ray Lewis retire? And first game of the season, he fucking went out there and had one of the biggest fucking hits in his career, jumping the snap count, running through the offensive line and blowing up the fucking the running back in the backfield for a huge loss. Mm-hmm. as they were making a fucking march down the field to try to fucking win the game. And that play saved that fucking game. And I was like, yeah, you want to keep talking? I mean, literally, they were talking about him retiring 5 minutes before. Still want to talk that retirement shit?
And see, on the same level, I still remember when Troy Polamalu jumped over both lines.
I know, right?
Sacked the quarterback. I will never forget that fucking play.
That motherfucker played safety like he had no fucks to give. Like, seriously. I just recently watched or rewatched that America's game about the 2008 Steelers. And he's like, yeah, he's constantly praying on the sidelines. And they asked him about it. And he's like, because I'm playing football. Any moment I could die out there. And the way I play doesn't really help that. I'm like, yeah, you think? Dude, just fucking... Oh, God. That dude was on another fucking level, man.
Troy Polamalu reminded me of Alvin Mack from that movie, The Program. Remember that movie?
I remember the movie. I can't remember his character all that clear.
Alvin Mack was a linebacker. He was All-American linebacker.
Oh, was he the one at the end?
Shit to everybody.
Was he the guy at the end that it's like, yeah, you've been taking roids. You just played your last game.
No, that was the big, huge white guy. No, this was a black linebacker who always was talking shit to everybody and actually got his leg broke. But he said something that I could just picture Troy Polamalu saying. Kick ass, kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Polamalu wasn't like really a shit talker.
No, he didn't say a fucking word ever. Like that's what I was thinking. You know, I don't think he even liked the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think he liked anybody. If anybody was in his way, he hit him.
I don't know. He just. I remember during that America's game, he came off as very. I don't even know how to put it. Like almost zen. Like, you know, he's like, I don't love football. I love life. I love playing football, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, I got it. And he's like highly educated. You know, Bill Cowher's up there like, Columbus discovered America. And Polamalu, he's like, I can't remember who was telling the story. I think it was Ben Roethlisberger. He goes, and of course, Troy put his hand up in the air. He goes, actually discovered the West Indies. And he's like, whatever, just listen to my point. He's like, Troy was that guy. If you fucked up on something because he's a history major from USC, he's like, no, I got to correct you.
Well, because he's 100% right. Amerigo Vespucci discovered America, but whatever.
All right. Well, since we've devolved into randomly talking about football, does that mean we're done? I mean, do we got anything else we want to hit?
Well, I mean, did you guys catch any of the other games? Sadly, I did not catch anything but highlights, really. I was trying my best to watch as many of these Week 3 games, knowing it's the dress rehearsal.
I'm just chomping at the bit for next week. I mean, next Thursday, dude. It's fucking on.
Wait a minute. We got to do unregimented.
Oh, no, I know, but that's just when the games start. That's just when the season starts. I'll have the game on Gamecast on my phone, keeping an eye on it. It's just now the season starts. I mean, I'm ready.
I watched a lot of the games, and here's the thing. Nobody's a perfect fit yet. So as bad as the Lions looked at Tampa Bay, I have hope because nobody's a perfect fit yet.
Telling them, don't sleep on Minnesota. Last year, Rich was like, hey, don't sleep on the Eagles. And the year before, Iceman, don't sleep on the Rams. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Vikings this year. Yeah.
No, I'm going to take a long winter's nap on the Vikings.
The Vikings are a perfect storm of.
They fucked up.
Cousins had a garbage receiver core in Washington. Minnesota had garbage quarterbacks and a good receiver core. Now they have both found the solution to each one of their problems, and it's gonna. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be. Plus that defense. It's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be raw. Dude,
that's why I'm saying should have watched the game. Nobody's a perfect fit yet.
See, we're laying the groundwork for a season-long debate between Chris and Earl, and it's going to be the Vikings this year.
Oh, come on! It's not the Vikings. I'm telling you.
No,
nobody's a perfect fit yet.
What I'm going to say is, if the Vikings have any amount of success, you're going to downplay it and egg Chris on. You're going to dangle the hook in front of him with the squirming worm on it and be like, come on, take the bait. And Chris is going to go, you can't sit here and talk shit. They're first place in the division. And blah, 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 blah. And this is going to be a season-long thing.
They could be undefeated.
Third place.
They could be undefeated with all shutouts, and he'd still be downplaying it.
Calling it now. Third place.
To who? To who? Who's finishing in front of them? Green Bay and who?
And the Lions. Duh.
How does an unabashed homer,
it's acceptable,
like him, fucking have the record of picking that he does? Like,
hey, I told you the first season. Yeah, I got the Lions pick, but there's all those other games that week that I have to pick. Just because I'm biased against the Lions doesn't mean I'm biased against everybody else. I understand the game. I'm trying to tell you, Cousins is not a perfect fit yet. I'm not saying he won't be, but he ain't yet.
He's got two
Didn't
good
look
receivers. He's
He
got
didn't look good.
a good tight end.
Yes, he has the arsenal. I totally agree with that. It just he hasn't found the rhythm there yet.
Dalvin Cook.
That's why I'm telling you, they totally fucked up. Why did you trade to Case Keenum? He was there. He had the synergy.
He's
he
going
had
to
the
go
connection.
be garbage in Denver.
That was terrible coaching idea.
Case Keenum's garbage. Those receivers in Minnesota made him look good. And those receivers in Minnesota would make me or you or Rich look good. That's just a talented receiver core.
Okay, but they haven't made.
Both of their receivers could be the lead guy on any other, like Thielen or Diggs could go be number one receiver on any other team.
Me out there playing quarterback for the Vikings. Be the first motherfucker in hockey gear. First motherfucker in hockey gear out there throwing a pigskin around.
Is this guy lost?
Like, I don't think he knows what game he's playing.
Yeah.
Somebody goes to try to sack Rich. He takes off the ice skate. Come here, bitch.
Yeah.
Try to hit me. I double dog dare you.
Where'd he get skates from?
And why is he running on AstroTurf with skates? What the fuck? Oh, God.
He's cheating. He's got blades on his cleats.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. This is the rough week to discuss football because we can't do picks for week 1 because we got one more preseason game. But it is literally you're going, coaches are going to find and make the decision on like the fringe bubble guys. So I mean, unless the coach is stupid, like Gruden leaving in Garcia week 4 preseason into the second fucking quarter, and he gets his leg broke. The fuck are you doing, Gruden?
You know what this week is? This week is just the tip.
Yeah, because hold on a sec. Michigan and State play this weekend, don't they?
Yeah,
They do.
College. That's what I'm saying. College starts, but I mean we're full board next week. I mean next weekend is just not this coming weekend. The weekend after. I mean it's just it's college and pro all together.
Okay, well, God damn you.
I've seen some talk this week about it. It's the quarterback guru's got his quarterback, so it's hot seat time. I've actually seen some media talk about this.
Good. They need to. Sorry. I mean, like, no more excuses. You've ran out of mulligans as far as I'm concerned. But, that's just me. Whatever. So, yeah, we should probably pick this week's games, right?
Oh, snap. Let me get the pick music pad. Gotta dust that bitch off.
Because you got, you got State playing Friday and Michigan and Notre Dame on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Stand by, gentlemen. Oh, this means I gotta get my house in order.
Your abacus out so you can keep straight.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Who won last season? Earl?
Yes. It's like
okay.
2 in a row.
Pick your fucking order, asshole. Get it out of the way.
Well, to finish up, I do want to say that Des Bryant did take a photo.
You're not accepting an Oscar. Just pick the fucking order. God damn.
And then Chris brought up the fact that he's decided to wait to sign with the team. I just want to ask him.
No, I didn't bring that up. That was a story that he put out on Twitter that he's going to wait till mid-season to sign with. Oh, you're waiting? That's your strategy? No, I'm going to wait.
Might want to ask his buddy Colin Kaepernick how that happened. How that worked out.
Dude, Des Bryant he's becoming another cautionary tale a la T.O.
Yeah. So we'll see how that works.
Like, don't be a
bold
dick.
Strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him.
All right.
So let's go different. I'm going to go Rich, Chris, and me.
All right. Rich has the burden of going first every week now.
Well, no, it changes. Whoever wins the week before gets to pick the order.
That's true.
So,
I'll pick it different next week. Go on.
I'm going to make a whole pick sheet for...
How mighty Caucasian of you. I'll pick the order different next week. It's 2 games for picking, dick.
That's mighty Iceman of me.
Okay. Well, first game. Friday, 31st. In Spartan Stadium. East Lansing, Michigan. The football powerhouse Utah State Aggies come in. I can barely get through that without laughing. Get the fuck out of here. Tonight, Spartans, you dying in hell. Of course you're going to fucking win that game. You better win that game, or else it's going to be some Appalachian State going on your ass in East Lansing.
Yeah. Is this I don't even have to think about this. Give me the Spartans.
I don't know, man. Those Utes. I'm telling you.
The 2 what? The 2 Utes. The what? Utes? Are you saying Utes?
Are you saying Utes? I'm sorry. The U's. The 2 defendants. No, man. This even the most homer of Michigan fans has to pick fucking Spartans.
Yeah, that's not even a fucking. That's not even a decision, man. Like there's no debate there.
The most homer of Michigan fans are picking the Spartans and praying to everything holy that Utah beats them, because they will never live it down, just like Appalachian State. You're right.
Dude, I told everyone who would listen when that game happened in 2007, I said, in like 10 years, the true story of what happened on that game is going to come out. And it's already started to come out in drips and drabs. And the truth was, you had players hungover from the night before, players still drunk from the night before who hadn't gotten any sleep because they thought it was going to be a walkthrough. Like they basically showed up like they were going to do a half-speed walkthrough of the game. And they lost. And if that's the way they showed up, they fucking deserved to lose. That's what you get for fucking around. Period. I don't care if it's my team or not. Fuck is wrong with you? Act like you've been there before. Okay. Having said that, Saturday, 7:30 p.m., Jesus in Khakis takes his fucking team out to visit Touchdown Jesus in South Bend, Indiana. That's number 12 Notre Dame. And that's Michigan ain't starting off with a win. It's going to be Notre Dame. Yep. Week 1, the season's already over with. Yep. The only thing you can look forward to is it's not an in-conference game.
Yeah.
You gotta wait till you play Wisconsin to have someone from your conference stomp your ass.
If this were a video podcast, you would see me in the studio turning my thumb towards the ground. I'm with you, Rich. If Notre Dame plays like they did last year, this isn't going to go well for Michigan. I mean, especially, too, it's your quarterback's first game with the team. We're in the night game. We're on the national stage. There'll probably be some nerves. You're not at home. Sorry.
The only thing positive I can say about Michigan going into this game, from what I've seen and what I've heard, is that defense has a chip on their shoulder. And they're returning 9 of 11 starters. I just don't think that defense is going to be able to carry them through these type of games. That's the problem.
Yeah, you have to score points, too. I mean, you remember their defense last year when they played MSU? They kept going back and forth, both teams coughing up the ball. Problem was Michigan's problem. Michigan should have won that game. Michigan should have beat the fuck out of Michigan State last year, but they couldn't convert those turnovers into points.
Exactly.
Iceman, what say you?
You know I'm going to pick Michigan.
Oh, now I do.
I'm picking Michigan. I think you guys are right in everything you said, except I have to believe that Harbaugh, because I like him as a coach. I do. Always have. Him and his brother. And I think he's smart enough to see everything that went wrong and is definitely the coach that knows how to change it. And herein lies the problem with college football. Like I told you guys before, there is no preseason, so you don't know what he's changed. You don't know how they look, either team. You got to go off what you have. And you have a coach that knows how to coach. Now it's either time to prove it or time to go home.
It's your college football preseason. That way, August would just be, you'd have football through all of August. That'd be the college preseason as well.
I would settle for a 7-on-7.
First time a college football team star player got hurt in a bullshit game that meant nothing, that'd be the end of that.
It's true.
Yep.
Well,
that's the problem.
Our first official picks are in for the week, gentlemen.
Well, either we're going to be tied for first, or Iceman's going to be by his lonesome at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
So we're already drawing the line in the sand. And fucking, we're not in lockstep here.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be like, we all nail it. So somebody's going to be wrong.
I'll never admit it. I'll kill my mom first.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, any consolation, as a Michigan fan, I want them to win. I just don't think they will.
I got to have confidence in his coaching. I've seen him coach. I know how he coaches. I think he's smart enough to make the changes to start winning.
Doesn't execute the plays.
I've been holding back on saying this about Harbaugh, of all the criticism I've leveled at him. But I really feel that I feel that this is right on point. I think he's a little too corny for kids these days. For guys college age playing football. He's just got that corny vibe to him. And it's like, I can't shake it. Every time I see him, it's like, dude, if this was the 60s or the 70s, you would be right at home. But this is fucking 2018, man. And you're running around like, it comes off as corny. I don't know any other way to put it. Like, not phony. I believe he's genuine. That's what makes him corny. Like it's the guy on your block who cuts his lawn in black socks and sandals, but he means that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's dead. Them socks are pulled all the way up. He's dedicated to the look. I mean, like he just reminds me of that. And I don't know. I don't know his. Never been on the sidelines. Never been in a fucking private practice. Never been in a private meeting. I don't hear how he deals with players one-on-one. But if he coaches and talks to players the way he comes off to me, I could see a lot of players being like, and the minute they leave his fucking office, they're like rolling their eyes like, oh my God, what's wrong with this motherfucker?
Oh, this bitch.
Go listen to your Neil Diamond albums. What the fuck? So it's just a vibe I get from him, and I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to work with. If you look at his record, would you say his style's working? I mean,
no, I wouldn't. But this is the year that is his year. It's all on him now.
It better be. It fucking better be.
I mean, it's like we said earlier in this podcast, in this episode. You're out of excuses. You're out of things to point at. This is all you.
And he got himself a SEC quarterback now, too.
Right. You're out of excuses.
Well,
I just think there's so much negative and so much bad publicity coming out of college sports, period, and especially Michigan college sports. They've got to rally at some point.
Doesn't matter.
Somehow.
State's running the table. That's all that matters. 12-0.
14-2. Here we go.
12-0. This is the season, son. This is the season. National champions. Oh, am I calling my shot right at the beginning of the season? That's a bold move. They'll probably get stomped by Alabama. Didn't we? didn't we already play that out? I'm just gonna let you dig your own grave on this one, man. Just the same thing.
I learned my lesson with ice. You can make them bold predictions. Most of the time, they ain't gonna hold up. So
It's true. Now let me forget them.
Come on, Elijah Muhammad, Jesus Christ, Buddha, whoever the fuck is up there, somebody let him lose to the Utes one time.
No, right.
No, what would really be fucked up is in week 2 if they go to Arizona State and they lose.
Well, that's
not as bad as the Utes.
That's 2 parties.
Brewski came from Arizona State. Dude, it's not as bad as the Utes.
But that's 2 party schools coming together. That could be bad.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at they can get a little too cocky, party a little too fucking hard.
Motherfuckers on the sidelines doing tequila shooters.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, it might not go as expected. Let's just put it that way.
All right.
Have Corona Ritas and shit.
Exactly. So that being said, we're going to wrap that shit up. Oh, but next time we meet, we'll have a week of college football behind us. We'll be on the precipice of the NFL season. Oh, just walking around like half hard all day. Next week it's going to be just fully hard. Just fully erect for a week. Just waiting for 1 o'clock on that Sunday. Rubbing my nipples like that guy in The Water Boy.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at State and Michigan schedule, and they rank how hard or how tough their schedule is. State has the 24th toughest schedule in the country.
That's what I'm saying.
Michigan has the 3rd toughest schedule in the country.
God damn.
Yeah.
5-7? That's what your prediction?
No. It was 7-5. That's what I predicted.
Come on, Harbaugh. One time.
But you know what?
But you see what I'm saying about State? Like, if it's any year.
You know what? Fuck it. Let them go in there and house Notre Dame. Change my mind. Make me a believer. Give me something real. Not this bullshit, not this rah-rah, not these corny-ass speeches, not running around with your shirt off like you're Matthew McConaughey's illegitimate brother with fucking fetal alcohol syndrome. Give me something real. Go in there and whoop Notre Dame's ass. Then we'll talk. Because if they go in there and get housed by Notre Dame, I'm sitting here looking at Nebraska 3 weeks later going, oh, shit. And it's Nebraska. And this ain't 1980-something.
And this isn't Bo Schembechler.
No.
Yeah,
no, Elvis Gerback is not walking through that fucking door.
I've talked to a couple Nebraska fans, and not too optimistic on their season. So you could take this one, Michigan. Just saying. But anyway, hopefully next week we're talking about a Michigan State win and a Michigan win. Even though I picked Notre Dame to win, because hey, I'm from Michigan. Even though as a State fan, I just made my own spine tingle. But hit us up on Twitter at SportG Podcast. We got the Fantasy Football League going.
Got 3 spots left.
Dude, those spots are pretty much filled already.
Really?
Well, it's one is left for your boy. That's what I'm saying. If your boy,
when I see him tomorrow, I will get his email and I will send it to you.
Yeah.
And then you can send him the invite that way because he swears every time he goes, he said the last time he went, it said 10 spots were filled, 10 spots were reserved. There was no open spots. And I'm like, we don't have 20 people.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
And if I could just gotta collect email addresses and then just start a new one and email everyone, then we'll do it that way. Like that's where I'm at with that. Just start a whole nother league. But no, yeah, between him bringing in the Michigan beer guy in this year, he's gonna play, and then dude, we're good with the spots. But if we get enough, because I also put the call out on the Fantasy Life app that I'm a part of. Boy, the Fantasy Life app I'm a part of now and the one I would have been a part of 10 years ago are 2 different things. But, yeah, if we get enough interest, maybe we'll run multiple leagues. But, yeah, looking forward to... I've made a major strategy shift this year. I've already done a few drafts. I'm going to whoop everybody's ass this year, and I say that with confidence.
I'm still going to suck because it's individual, it's not team.
Just you have to join.
He beat me once. He beat me once, and he's going to hold on to it forever.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The best part of being in this fantasy league is the absolute horseshit nonsense trade offers that come from fucking Earl. And he means that shit. That's a genuine offer.
I didn't know a bag of footballs was an option on this app. How did he find it?
He's like, I'll give you the Lions defense and an extra long Slim Jim for Tom Brady. What?
But it's the Giant Slim Jim. You want a Giant Slim Jim?
I'll even make it spicy, dog, the Tabasco one. Hey, you can't turn that down. Oh, so then I can take a shitty trade and have heartburn? Great, wonderful. Anytime, I swear to God, anytime this season I see trade offer from incarcerated career enders, I'm just going to be like, delete. I'm not even going to fucking open this shit up. I'm not even going to look at it.
Reject.
I'm offering Jack Link's beef jerky this time.
You must be fucking with Sasquatch. I don't know what's fucking.
I'll offer you 2 kickers for your starting tight end.
Oh God.
Please don't.
All right.
Yeah, don't hold more than 1 kicker, Earl. Please. Oh, anyway, yeah, Sports Geek Podcast on Twitter. Email sportgeek@christophermedia.net. And check us out every Wednesday or Thursday, whatever. If I get around to it Wednesday, I put it up Wednesday. If not, we go up Thursday. We're up every week. And we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.